What is it today? Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I am sitting in my car on my lunch break and I have a workshop coming up on Friday, and we are going to be looking at goals and vision, and we're really looking at some magic ways to start making your vision for your life or for your business happen. And goal setting is part of that. So we're going to be using a lot of tools this Friday. And I thought, well, let's give you all a head start, whether you're coming on Friday or not, to look at how we can set goals in an NLP way. So most of you probably have heard of SMART goal setting before. So I'm going to review SMART goal setting, but we're going to review it in the next couple of minutes in an NLP context. Hi, Shelly. I see a couple of you jumping on. Cassie, Ashley. Hi, nice to see you guys. Oh my God, Cass, I haven't seen you for years. Remember all that dancing we did? Cass and I met in Miami and we danced for a couple hours straight. It was kind of crazy stuff. Lots of NLP being used there. So NLP is the way our mind thinks. It's using the magic of words to override and rewire some of the unconscious programming in our minds. So when we think of goals, it's important for us to have a good mindset on the goals that we're setting. So I want to just quickly go over SMART goals and how you would use SMART goals in an NLP way. So SMART goals, each one of the letters of SMART has a specific meaning. Now, if you have done SMART goals before, you might want to stick around because I have an extension on this that will be highly beneficial to you, whether you show up on Friday or not, because SMART isn't the end of it. We're going to talk about smarter goals. Smarter goals is where the magic really happens. But first, let's define SMART goals. So when you're writing a goal, it's very important to use the SMART acronym. S stands for specific. And I've got my notes here. I'm looking, so you guys are okay with me looking. Specific. What specifically do you want? So when it comes to being specific, you can't say, I want more money. Well, how much more money do you want? So specific is something like saying, I'd like to take 2 vacations every year. That's pretty specific. It could be, I want more paying clients. Cool. Make sure that you're asking for paying clients if you want more clients, right? I see lots of thumbs up. Nice to the thumbs up, guys, right? We want paying clients, right? We also like clients who prefer. Okay, so you want to be specific about what you're asking for. Then we want to look at M. M stands for measurable. And in the regular SMART system, I think you all know what measurable means. It means you have to be able to track it in some way. There has to be a number of some sort attached to it. Okay, so how much more money, right? When we're talking about NLP, we're talking about making it meaningful to you. Okay, so it's all great to set business goals, but if that business goal isn't helping you and you're not attached to that on a personal basis, there is less likely a chance that you'll achieve it. You're not motivated on an emotional level to attain that goal. So make sure that goal is meaningful to you. Okay, it means something. If you achieve that goal, it will create, there's an emotional motivation towards moving towards the goal and taking the action steps, right? Okay, so then let's look at A. So A, in the traditional sense, they say attainable. Is it even possible? That means not asking for a goal that sets, I'm going to make $1 million in the next 3 months. Highly unlikely, unless I win Dragon's Den. Not for me anyway. So we're looking at attainable. In the NLP sense, the magic comes when we look at 2 other things. All areas of your life. Is this goal beneficial to you in all areas of your life, right? Is it beneficial in your business sense? Is it beneficial in your relationships, in your family? Is it beneficial for your community and the groups that you're in? So if it's about making more money, then that's probably a good thing, right? So is it good for all areas of your life? When we're writing smarter goals in the NLP sense, we use the sense of writing a goal as if now. So that means writing the goal as if it's already happened. So for example, you use the terms as if it's already happened. And I'll give you an example. So the smarter goal that I wrote as an example for you guys today was on or before, and you put in a date, I am celebrating an additional blank amount of money created in my business through my new programs. Okay. So when we write on or before, that's giving us that measurable date. And then we are celebrating. I am celebrating. And then your goal. And you've written it as if it's already happened. That's the key for locking it into your unconscious mind. Because we have a part of our brain that's called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. And the RAS's purpose is to look for things that you are focusing on. So you all know what you focus on expands. What you think about unconsciously is what manifests. I'm not going to go into all of that, but writing a SMART goal, you must, to make the best chance of your goals coming to fruition, other than action, is to write it as if it's already happened. Okay? So that's A. R, realistic, of course, realistic. Is it realistic that $1 million in the next, or $1 billion, I should say, in the next couple of months? Probably not so realistic for me. Maybe for some of you, I don't know. I hope so. But the other one is responsible. Okay. So when we think about responsibility, is this ecological? Is this a good idea for me, for my family, my community, and the planet, right? Is this a good goal? Is it going to benefit or not harm anyone else? Okay. We want to think about that. And the last part of the regular SMART goals is T, timed, right? So timed, and that's putting a date stamp on it and putting an end date on it. And we always want to make sure that we have a goal that's not too far in the future, because when things are too far in the future, we tend to procrastinate, don't we? We wait until the last minute to get on that goal, and then we get worried about it. So putting a date stamp on your goal is really important. So that I would always say, like I said, honor before the date. Okay, so there's your date. Put your date on it. Okay. And the second part for NLP is to be focusing on towards what you want. So you want it to be something that you want, positive. So a lot of people will say things like in their goals, well, I'd like to lose 40 pounds. Okay, you want to lose 40 pounds. It sounds good, except you're talking about losing something. You're talking about focusing on the thing that you don't want. You don't want the weight. So instead of saying losing 40 pounds, you might want to say, I'd like to gain health and fit into my clothes better. I may want to have more energy, and then put a measurement on that. Those are important things to be aware of. Okay. Also, I don't want a relationship where someone mistreats me. Cool. I know you don't want that. What do you want? Do you want a relationship where you're respected and valued and there's equal power and you feel appreciated all the time? That's the thing that you want, right? So what is it that you want? Focus on what you want. Okay, so those are the regular SMART goals, right? So for example, like I said, you have this SMART goal and it looks like this. And here's the format that I use with my clients and that we'll be using on Friday. So we write honor before the date. So for example, honor before June 1st, I am celebrating an additional $10,000 created in my business through my new programs. Sounds pretty cool, right? So that's how you write a SMART goal. It has all of those key elements in it. And it has all of those things that you want. But now, like, what is it that makes it magic? So what makes it magic is adding 2 more letters. So adding an E and an R for smarter goals, because they really are smarter. So smarter goals, we add an E, which stands for emotion. Okay. So in order for anything to happen in our lives, we need to add emotion to it. We achieve goals and we make things happen in our lives because we are driven by emotions. Everything we do and everything we decide is based on an emotion. Has anyone ever made an emotional purchase? Yes. An emotional decision? Yes. Right? All of those things that we do are emotions, and our emotions happen in the middle part of our brain, the limbic brain. And the limbic brain is part of us, the unconscious part of us that gets our goals. So the rational part of your brain, that's your neocortex. That's the part that sets the goals. It's our goal setter, right? But the part of us that gets our goals is unconscious. It's our unconscious mind that actually gets us to the goals. It's always your emotions that takes you out, isn't it? You don't feel like going to the gym. You're just too sad to go and, deal with something. It's our emotions that take us in, and it's our emotions that get us what we want. So when we add emotions to our goals, then that's when they become more achievable. Okay. And I've got some excellent tools. If this is something you're interested in, connect with me after. I've got some excellent tools for adding emotion so that your goal setting can become way more productive. And just connect with me and we'll have a quick little chat. right? Or you can comment below and I might be able to answer later on today. I'm in the class in a little while. Okay, the last letter is R. So R stands for reverse engineered. So reverse engineered is a really cool process where we change the way we move towards goals. Most people move towards their goals from the start to the finish. And that's how our rational brain works. But our unconscious, or the emotional part of our brain, does not work forward. It works backwards, right? So in order for us to achieve our goals, we have to have a picture in our head of what our life will look like when that goal is achieved. So go ahead and imagine it. You've got a goal in your mind already. Go ahead and I want to ask you, what's the picture in your head? Do you have a picture in your head when you think of achieving that goal? Okay? And reverse engineering means taking steps backwards to see what's the process of getting to that goal. So I would ask you, and what's the very last thing that has to happen before you get that goal? And you would have an answer. And we would walk all the way backwards until you got to the very first part of the goal setting. And then you would have an actual process to follow, step by step, maybe not in the right order, because sometimes things don't happen in the right order. That's life, right? But you would have an actual process to getting to your goal, right? And that's how we lock that into the unconscious mind. Remember, like I said before, when we tell our unconscious mind that something's already happened, then it believes it already has. And the magic is that RAS, that reticular activating system, now goes to look for all the opportunities and all the resources that you need to make that goal happen. It's like, how many of us have you guys ever bought a new car? And you're looking at all these cars, you're test driving, and you kind of set your sight on one make and model. And then while you're still in the decision process and you're driving around town, you start to notice that make and model, maybe even the same color, all over the place. You see it at the grocery store, you see it at the stoplight, you see it on the 400, and every single time you turn your head and you're like, that's my car, right? Your reticular activating system has been programmed because you want that car. It's focusing on finding that car. And so if you use NLP tools and the power of your unconscious mind to program your goals and reverse engineer them and make them emotional, you have 1,000 more, well, I don't have a number, but 1,000,000 more times of getting that goal. How do I know? 2 years ago, in the beginning of January, decided on a random thought that I was going to write a book. Had no idea. I'd never written. All I knew was that my story needed to go out there and be published. I knew someone needs to know my story. There's someone out there that needs to hear it. And how did I want to get that out there? I wanted the story published. So I set a goal. We reverse engineered it. I worked with a coach. We did the whole process that we'll be doing. And less than a week later, I had a friend who added me to a Facebook group. And the very first post in that Facebook group was a call for authors for a book called Fuck Fear. Yep, I get to swear. That's the book title. The next day, I had the contract in hand. And I signed it within 48 hours. So in less than 2 weeks from setting that goal, I'd already found the means to write my story. I had no idea. I didn't know anyone who was a publisher. I didn't know anyone who'd written a book. It just showed up in my lap. Why? Because I'd asked for it, and the magic of the universe and my reticular activating system showed me exactly where it was. That goal was to be published by the end of that year, by December 31st. I was published less than 6 months in July. So that's how goal setting works. And that's not the only example I have, but that is a really cool example of how I became an author because I decided and set a goal on it. So I hope this has helped all of you. Let me just check my notes to see if there's anything else. No, I think I covered it all. So if any of you are still interested in coming to the workshop, there are 3 seats left. It's in Vaughan on Friday starting at 10 a.m. Please send me a message. I'll send you the link. You can decide if you want to come. If not, connect with me if you'd like to discuss your smarter goals. I might be able to help you out. We could do a short session or an online Zoom. But thanks for checking in. I hope this is helpful. And I really got to go because I got to go back and teach some grade 6 class today. We're talking about empathy, the Inspire program. So I will see you all soon. Thanks for checking in and good luck with your goals. I know you're going to make them.